Okay, so my name's Janet Chapman. I'm the chair of Tanzania Development Trust and also the founder of Crowd to Map. So Tanzania Development Trust, it's great to see Rachel and Aseri here, and who know Tanzania Development Trust very well, and just allowing some people to join. So we've been working with rural communities for the last 45 years. And our priorities are sustainable access to water, small income generating projects, and also girls' education, particularly hostels for government secondary schools. And these are the areas where we work in Tanzania, and we have local representatives in those areas who in many cases are great innovators themselves, because they really understand the local conditions and the local need. So one of them, I'm hoping he's going to join shortly, but he has very poor connectivity usually, is Benedicto from Kigoma Rural. 3 years ago, we sponsored him to come to the UK and meet. He spoke in Parliament. This is the MP that supported him in that, who is a member of Britain-Tanzania Society now, Jeremy Lefroy. So Benedicto is a great innovator. Because water is a huge issue in Kigoma, he's developed a really cost-effective method of hand drilling for water and constructing water rope pumps, as you can see here. Prior to this, the pumps that they had often broke down and they were very difficult to get spare parts to repair them. So he's perfected this scheme that's been very, very effective. If you want to know more about this, his website is there, and I'll share this in the chat later. Another very innovative local rep that we've been working with is Roby Samweli, who's an FGM activist and survivor. Her organisation, Hope for Girls, has been making a lot of different tailored goods that have, we've also been selling them in the UK. And during last year, they also made many different locally made reusable masks against COVID, as did many, many people. So here are also some locally made medical gowns and also 3D printed screens that were created. And this is an example of a 3D printed microscope that we've also been using in schools. So we work with many different schools, and we've tried to introduce technology wherever possible. So here is an example of a very low cost computer called a Raspberry Pi. And one of the benefits of this is that you can use it without mains electricity. So here it's just running off a battery pack. We've also worked with other innovators in Tanzania, such as Shula Direct and other local smaller education groups, and we'll be hearing from one of them shortly. In order to try and encourage entrepreneurship and enterprise in schools, we've really encouraged them to join this competition. It's a global competition called School Enterprise. And last year, one of our schools won the best business grant, the best business plan, which was fantastic. That was for their chicken project. We're also introducing technology such as this, which is a really good way of case management. One of the other things that we do is set up Crowd to Map, because much of rural Tanzania is very poorly mapped, and this really impacts on people's work, particularly Roby, when she's trying to protect girls from FGM. Having poor maps makes it very difficult to find them. But for navigation and planning, also maps are very important. Much of rural Tanzania looks like the map at the top. There may be thousands of people living in this place, but it's not shown. There's been a lot of mapping going on to places like Dar es Salaam, particularly to help protect people from floods, but still much more is needed in rural areas. So that's why we started Crowd to Map. And if you'd like more information about that, please let me know. The mapping takes place partly from satellite images, as you can see here, but also people can add their local knowledge using free apps such as maps.me. And also now we're being able to access drone imagery from this. This is a drone that was invented and manufactured in Dar es Salaam. It's actually made out of bamboo. I was hoping that Born Love, who invented this, would be able to talk to us, but unfortunately he's working in DRC at the moment and can't join. But if you want more information about this, and we're hoping to use this in Mugumu and Mara soon. So things like drone imagery can be really, really important for flood assessment and many other things. Another innovation that we've been looking at recently is called Plant Nuru. So this is uses AI, artificial intelligence, to detect pests in crops such as cassava and maize. And here you can see people starting to use this in Mara. And if you'd like more information, the link is there. And using AI and remote sensing, we're also starting to look at things such as deforestation and reforestation projects, and generally for better agriculture. So that was just a very quick overview of some of the innovations that we've been tried to help people promote in Tanzania. And that's my contact details. So please, if you haven't, do introduce yourselves in the chat. And I'd like to invite Aseri, who's going to talk about an innovation that he's been involved in agriculture. Aseri, do you want to, have you got some slides to share? Aseri, can you speak?
Sorry?
Aseri? Okay. I don't know if Aseri can hear. Can you hear Aseri?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, there you go then. Right, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, as long as you can see me, that's fine. Okay. Now, what I've been trying to do is to be able to find a replacement for fish meal in a chicken feed, pigs, or any poultry. And that is to do with black soldier flies. But because our flies were found in my farm, we call the farm which is at Kaziru, we call them Kaziru soldier flies. Now, these, they can be done locally and cheaply, but it does two things. One, it is a clean environment whereby we can take any leftover from the market, fruits, vegetables, etc., and feed the maggots. Now, when the maggots are mature, some will go for replication, but some of them will go to be given to animals. Animals could be pigs, could be chickens, could be even ducks. That's what you've been doing. Now, we have already started. We've got one farm in Bukoba and another farm in Katavi region. Now, so far, they are doing very, very well. Now, I was not prepared to show the slides. I can do it, but this innovation not only will make sure that there's no depletion of fish in the sea, but there is something cheaper and sustainable people can do to enhance their fish animal feed. Any questions so far?
Thank you, Aseri. So you're using these in Kagera and Katavi currently. If people wanted to start using this, how much would it cost them to get started?
Now, to get started, because you need to have housing for them, you need to have a net, you need to have a basin, you need to make shelves. Now, I was estimating maybe £1,000 is enough for someone to start a project. But more than that, people need to have a training. Now, training is the key to know the temperature of what these maggots need to be able to reproduce, to know the humidity, which should be in that room. Now, we have discovered that the temperature should be between 32 and 39, and the humidity should be about 60 to 70. Then those are the perfect conditions for the flies to be able to reproduce. Now, sometimes you can add humidity by just spraying the water in that house, and that they produce themselves perfectly.
Thank you. And if people started doing this, how quickly would they get their money back, would you think?
Within 6 months, they will get their money back.
Fantastic. It sounds very interesting.
And this project, anyone and anywhere, it can be done. Now, the feed could be either leftover from the market or from the restaurants, but they can use other material found locally, even fruits from the trees, or even chicken droppings, cow droppings. All those can be eaten by the maggots to thrive very well.
And how long have you been doing this?
Now, so far I've been doing this for the last 6 months, and whereby I've seen the positive results.
And have you had any problems?
Well, there are some problems. Sometimes you can get these flies not to reproduce because the conditions are not right. Therefore, someone needs to have an hygrometer to make sure that the temperature and the humidity are perfect all the time.
And how many chickens or whatever are you feeding at the moment?
At the moment, I've got about 2,000 chickens, but obviously because we do incubation ourselves on site, therefore we have got chickens, from chicks to chickens, etc. But we can have as many as you want, since we've got all the ingredients to be able to do a good farming.
Okay, so are you using these maggots as all of your chicken feed, or are you having to still buy additional feed?
Now, we give them about 33% of maggots. Another, we give them Azola, and the Azola is free as well because we grow Azola ourselves.
Sorry, what is Azura?
Azola is a plant which we grow in water, shallow water. It is green in color, and it's got all ingredients. You can find zinc, you can find calcium in them, you've got proteins, and it is free plant which grows very fast to be able to multiply by itself twice every day. Therefore, it is cheaper for us. We are trying to find the means and ways of using cheaper locally found feed for chickens. And as soon as we can find that solution, then therefore we know so many people will be able to do farming at a profitable basis.
Fantastic. So Nimali is asking, how about the markets? I'm not quite sure what she means by that. Nimali, do you want to unmute yourself and explain?
Now,
thank you, Janet, and thank you, Aseri, for your good explanations. At first, I didn't understand if the project was for the chickens, which is farming. But if maybe he could explain about the long term, is it maybe going to be extension to other farmers, or is it like he's going to make something extensive?
Now, this project can be done in 2 ways. One, you can make it standalone project, whereby your job is just to farm the maggots, dry them, make it into powder, and you can sell it the powder to people who are making chicken feed or any animal feed, actually. This can be eaten even by the cows if you mix with the grass. But the idea, if you've got chickens as well, therefore you can be yourself the consumer of these maggots, as well as if there is surplus, you can sell to other people who want it. Therefore, it is a placement of fish meal or soya beans, which costs a lot of money for just people who are starting to do farming.
Great. Where did you get the idea for this? Was somebody else doing this before? Or?
Actually, this idea is common. For example, in Indonesia, there's a guy who has been doing this for many years. Even in USA, people do it. Even in the UK, some people do it, but on an advanced level. If you go on the internet and say, look for black soldier flies, you'll be able to see so many examples of people doing it. Therefore, when I saw the idea, I said, wow, this could be something amazing. And that's when I started doing it. And when I went to my farm, I was able to catch these flies, and they started multiplying in my house. Therefore, this project can be replicated anywhere, but you need to have a starting point.
Do you know of other people doing it in Tanzania?
So far, apart from me and those people I've taught, no.
Okay, fantastic. So there's a question from Agape saying about what type of chicken are you rearing? Is it for eggs or for meat?
I do for both eggs and meat. Now, the chickens I've got broiler. They originated from India because they grow faster, they resist so many diseases, and they can lay so many eggs. Therefore, you can use them for meat as well as eggs. But obviously, since we've got incubators, I use solar incubator, we can rear any chicken someone wants if they wanted them, as long as I can get the eggs, fertile eggs.
So are you selling this feed yourself, or are you just using it yourself?
At the moment, I'm using it for myself because I've got so many chickens. But in the future, now we are trying to expand our plant to have so much. Therefore, we can start selling to those people who are making fish, who are using fish meals and using maggots, which we think is very, very sustainable. And something else which I've discovered as well, these maggots, they can be fed on hyacinths from Lake Victoria. Therefore, in the future, we'll be even cleaning the lake to feed our maggots. And that will be another additional advantage of having this project.
Fantastic. So there's a question, is this a good feed for ducks?
It is very good for the ducks.
Okay, so what other animals could you said you can use it for? Chickens, ducks, fish, cows?
You can use it for all poultry. You can use it for dogs and pigs. Now, especially for pigs, if you give them so much maggots, either in powder form or live, they will thrive very, very quickly. And the pigs need protein. Now, the maggots, they've got 43% protein and 23% fat. And those are the things, the major ingredients needed for animal feed.
Wow, fantastic. So I think there's a lot of interest in this. If people want to come and either visit your farm or have some training, is that possible?
That is very possible, because my idea is to be able to expand this project to anywhere. And if that can be done by anyone, that would be an advantage to us, because then we've discovered something, or we've got new innovation whereby it is done by so many people, and that would be a benefit to our local people in Tanzania.
Fantastic. So there's another question from Nimali. Are you looking for partnerships or loans, or are you just trying to tell people about this good technology?
Now, actually, I'm looking for partnership. I'm looking for some, even for grants, because I want to expand this project whereby I want to put one place near town in Bukoba so that I can have people to be trained from different parts of region to know how this project can be done. And if I can do that, that would be fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, there's a lot of interest, so please put your contact details in the chat so that people can contact you. And then if you don't mind, maybe I can also put them. Yeah,
you can put my things there.
Because I will send the recording to people afterwards, so I'll include your contact details if that's okay. Fantastic. That was really, really interesting, Aseri. I know that we're really hoping to do this in Kigoma and other places. I think many people will be very interested in this. Okay, thank you. All right.
Now
So,
I put my email address at the bottom.
okay. Oh, there's another question from Rosie. How has the pandemic affected your project? And
Actually, pandemic has affected my project because I was intending to have some students come to my to stay to my farm. At the moment, I can't do it because of this pandemic, and we need to take it seriously. This pandemic is there. People are dying. Therefore, we should never take chances.
No, absolutely. And another question, how are you prepared for future emergencies?
In what way?
In any way, I guess.
Well, future emergencies, we need to prepare now to say, if this happens, then we can jump and do this. If you're not prepared, then you are preparing to get a disaster. But obviously, things like this COVID has never happened. We didn't know it was going to happen. But now we know, therefore, there must be some contingency plan, which we should be able to put in place and save lives.
Yes, absolutely. And we've seen quite a bit of innovation around that, and let's hope that that continues. Okay, thank you very much, Aseri. That was brilliant. Okay, so next, I think we're going to go on to the Irish Chamber of Commerce, who are going to talk about a number of different things that they're working on. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Janet. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, greetings from Dublin. It's lovely today, no rain, so which is good. My name is Mrs. Edna Liatu-Hogan. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Tanzania Chamber of Commerce Europe Irish office. So thank you so much for the opportunity, Janet. So our chamber was established a few years ago, and what we are really, we are the bridge that connects Tanzania with the rest of the world, but primarily Europe, because we really focus with Europe. We do a number of things. One of them is investment. So as you know, Africa is an emerging economy, and there are so many opportunities. If you want to start a business or to grow, I mean, that's where you should head. And now we have a unified market, which is Africa, 1.3 billion people. It's a fantastic market. So we get so many queries from companies in Europe and elsewhere. They are really interested to invest in Tanzania and also other parts of Africa that we work with. So that's what we do, investment. And also we do trade facilitation. If anyone wants to get the insight, how can you establish a business, let's say in Africa, and vice versa as well. Companies that are in Tanzania, they want to have an international presence, they want to open an office, let's say in Europe, we do that for them as well. And also we do project management. We work with a number of charities as well. We do fundraising. Before COVID, we used to do fundraising gala, to raise money for various causes. So we do that as well. And also we used to organize, we organize our international study and, student exposure. So people maybe may come over and visit a farm, or vice versa. Students from here may go over to Tanzania and visit a farm like Aseri's farm, for example. We organize such events as well. And on top of that, we have fantastic online classes, Swahili classes that are so popular. We have students from all over the world that are taking these classes. And the good thing about our classes is we do them in 3 stages. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And then when you reach to the advanced stage, you get to travel to Tanzania, where you live with the locals, you volunteer for your prepared project, but also you it's a practical learning. But it's fantastic. It's kind of it's a very good way of skills sharing as well. So you may go there and say, oh, maybe you're interested in the, in the agriculture sector. So we can match you. Maybe we can send you to Aseri's farm in Bukoba. So that's what we'll send you. So this is a very popular program, but of course, because of COVID, we haven't been able to do that for a while, but now we're still continuing with our online Swahili classes. So the chamber is really here. It's called Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, but of course it represents so many, not only Tanzania, but we work with projects across Africa, like Rwanda, Burundi, Ghana, Cape Verde, Kenya. We have so many projects. And we work with so many business and investors actually who are our clients. And so for now, I would really highly encourage everyone, whether you're a charity, you run a charity, or you have a business, come and join our award-winning International Chamber of Commerce, and you get access to our pool of investors, and also to get, like international partnership. and also to do good things for Tanzania. For example, one of our clients today is actually Santi, who will be speaking about the product that we're actually designing together to solve existing problems in Tanzania and other African countries. Fantastic project that you'll hear about it from Santi. And also we have another social enterprise that we've supported. It's called Lukalangu Bonita Fashion Pieces. You will hear Vero and Nelson talk about it as well later on. But for now, maybe from me, from the chamber here in Dublin, let me just end there. Thank you so much, Janet.
Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, then please type them in the chat. I have a few questions. So are there similar Tanzanian chambers of commerce in other in the UK and in other European countries? And if so, are you linked with them?
No, we're actually the first one to be given permission by the government of Tanzania to be established outside of Tanzania. So in a way, you could say we made history. So, and that's why we're called the Tanzania Chamber of Commerce in Europe. So we have partners in various European countries that we work together. There's a protocol before you can set up a chamber, you need to get permission. So the government granted us the permission because prior to that, have been working very close with the government of Tanzania. And that's why, so it was really nice when we presented this to them, they gave us the permission. So if anyone, we do welcome, if people want to set up branches, then absolutely we work with various people in different countries across Europe, but we cover the entire Europe area. Yes.
Amazing. So how long have you been in operation?
We are actually in operation for just under 5 years, but with amazing results. So we have just grown so fast because I think there was a big gap. Many people always wanted to know how they can actually engage or do business in Tanzania or maybe even our neighboring countries. And they didn't know how to go about that. So we're actually, we because of that, the demand, we have grown so fast. We now even won an award recently. We've worked with big multinational, big companies and big projects for such a small chamber and a very young chamber. I mean, it's fantastic. And we have even a partner company in New York. And we actually hope that we are in talks of establishing like a presence in Asia because we have so many clients from India and that's part of the world. So we have just grown very, it's a good pace. We're not like massive, but we're getting there. It's nice. I like the pace and it's good to see that we're actually growing. We're heading in a good direction.
Thank you. And so there's a question about if you can share the website details. And
yes,
your contact details, but also you mentioned about the online Swahili classes. Is anybody eligible to join that? Is there a separate link for that?
Yes, we have actually. That's the link. I'll see if I can get my PA to share it. I think she's doing the call. So basically, we have classes for adults and children, and different levels. We have beginner, level 1 to 5. Intermediate, level 1 to 5, and advanced, level 1 to 5. So we have we have classes for different levels, and we have one-to-one, one-on-one. So if you just want to be you and the teacher, you can get that. Or if you want to be in a group, maybe a group of 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, or even more sometimes, you can get that too. And everything, there's a link you can share how you can register, and then an email will be sent to you with all the information and how you can be part of this. We even have a library, Swahili library. We sell Swahili books, which is fantastic. Yeah, they are written by Tanzanian people, and you can get to learn. And also we're now in the process of creating like audio. So people can actually, audio and video can actually learn through that. So we are fantastic teachers. Our teachers are highly qualified Tanzanian Swahili teachers. They actually, some of them teach at schools in Tanzania. They work for the government schools. So it's fantastic. They're highly skilled. So you're learning with, you're being taught by the best. We have students from even PhD levels, from normal people, anyone, any level, as long as you have an interest, you can do that. We work with a lot of charities as well. We have a program specific for charities who send their volunteers to Tanzania. So for example, they want their volunteers to get a basic Swahili. We provide that as well. We work with different agencies you can get that as well. We offer that. Yeah.
Thank you. So I presume that you have to pay for this.
Of course, this is something, if we have funding in place, we do offer the classes for free. For example, we have people for whatever reason they can't afford, because it's not very expensive, but it might be a lot for someone. So we offer them for free if we have funding in place. But if we don't have funding in place, our classes are 10 euros per hour for in group. If you want to be in a group, just 10 euros per hour, or 30 euros for one-on-one. So if you want just to be you and the teacher, that's the fees we charge. But also we have packages. Packages are a lot cheaper. So you actually end up paying a lot cheaper than 10 euro if you buy a package. So there's the 3-month, 6-month, and a year package.
Okay, thank you. And something else that I'm very interested in is some of the innovators that we work with in Tanzania. They would really benefit from some mentorship, particularly around business planning and so on. Is that something that you ever offer? Is that something that you think you could offer? Because I think it could be of great benefit for many people.
Yes, we do that. Actually, we have a sister company called Moas International. We do offer, training in business, proposal writing, how to write, apply for grants. We do all that. We do translation. We do editing. We do so much more under our sister company called Moas International. I think my staff, some of them who are here, they may be able to share their contact details. So yeah, we do that as well. Absolutely, something we can definitely do already anyway.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so I think Faraja wants to share, talk about some of your social enterprises now. So I believe she should be able to share her screen.
Yeah, so Nelson and Vero, please, the floor is yours. And then Santa will follow afterwards. Yeah. Thank you.
And please remember, everyone, do put any questions that you have for anyone in the chat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rosie. My colleague is trying to share the screen.
We can just see your document folder at the moment.
Hello, Nelson. Can I please proceed with the presentation? I have it here on my phone.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. My name is Rosie. From Dukalangu Bonita Fashion Pieces. Starting with the origin and meaning behind our name, Dukalangu means my shop in Swahili language, and Bonita means pretty in Spanish, which also means our founder's middle name, hence Dukalangu Bonita Fashion Pieces. Why we opened up?
Sorry, are you hoping that we're seeing some pictures now, or?
Yes, but I think there is a technical issue, so I'm presenting from the presentation here in my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Nelson on the call? Nelson, are you there? Nelson, are you there? Okay, Menelek, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I think you present for Santi. Okay, that's fine. Julie, just continue, please.
Okay. Why we opened up? At Dukalangu, we love all things Tanzanian, vintage, and designer labels, which is why we opened in the first place, selling Tanzanian, even African products to other nations, and also buying and selling vintage and designer labels to Tanzania. our clients' appreciation of Tanzanian and African arts in general, our vintage and discounted designer labels has grown steadily over the years, and this is part of what fuels our passion to keep going. Also, we love seeing the positive impact our social enterprise brings to makers of our products. Bonita has been running for 5 years now, and we're still standing strong. Our slogan, when others go far, we go farther. We have different centers of Tukalango in Tanzania, such as Arusha, Kilimanjaro, Dar es Salaam, Iringa, Morogoro, and Tanga. And our success stories, we have Bonita Arts. Our art is now featured in an Irish prestigious art gallery as seen at the links below. I'll share the links in the chat. And also we have Bonita Baskets, which are eco-friendly, hand-woven shopping baskets, and are now selling in Irish supermarkets such as Super Value, and are looking forward to supply, as you can see. Yes, thank you. From the screen, our baskets are eco-friendly, and we're supplying this basket at Super Value, and we're looking forward to supply more baskets to other Super Values branches and shops such as Tesco and Lidl.
Fantastic, thank you.
Further, we have Kiota Cottage and Camping Site. Kiota means bird's nest in Swahili. 2 years ago, we managed to secure a plot of land and started constructing a cottage and a camping site as one of the Dukalangu Center in Kilimanjaro, and accommodation for tourists and volunteers visiting Tanzania with our program and leisure. The village has fantastic tourist attractions such as hill walking, cycling, volunteering at the local coffee plantation project, schools, and hospitals. Could you please show the pictures of Kiota Cottage? Challenges that we faced running Dukalangu. We lack reliable markets for our products, and especially during this pandemic, things are done online. Lack of funding to pay trainers and designers and IT experts for our centers in Tanzania, as we want our products to be of high quality. So we lack funding to pay top trainers to go to our centers and train our people. Funding
Sorry,
to
Janet.
complete.
Sorry, Julie. Janet, do you want, because I think you have the videos as well, do you want to share what you have, what we shared with you? Can you screen share with everyone? I think they're having some technical glitches there on their side.
Okay, I'll try.
Please. Yeah, if you don't mind, thank you.
Is it this one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Thank you. So these are the baskets, guys, that we are selling in
baskets at
supermarkets.
Super Value, and
Yeah.
on Mother's Day, we're all sold.
You can continue, Julie.
Thank you. Okay. Another challenge that we face, funding for copyright issue. We really need to have our own copy and something that we can own, and this requires funding. Branding and marketing budget also. We are all volunteers in this project with our own jobs as a source of income, hence not a very reliable support. And we thank our founder and CEO for Bonita for supporting this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
If people have any questions, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, shall we go on to Santi, is it?
Yeah, Santi, yes. Santi. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Rose. Okay. Santi, are you there? Okay. Santi? Santi, are you there? I think he was logged in. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I saw you.
I'll put his video in the chat and maybe...
I'll talk about them. If you just share the video, I can, because I know a little bit about the product.
Okay, you start talking.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to tell people about it, and I'll just put a copy of the video.
Exactly. So basically, we work with Santi. Santi is a company in Spain, and because, as you know, there are so many problems in developing world in terms of climate. For example, we know malaria is #1 killer in Africa. So with the Santi's company, we have developed a product that if you paint your house with this particular paint, it repels mosquitoes. So this means that you save your family from catching malaria. So it's really, really good. It's a new product in the market, and that's the one. So basically, it's solving the existing problem. And another kind of painting that we came up with is the one that it keeps the house cool. As you know, it can be very hot in some African countries or in Middle East. The heat can be, unbearable. So this paint, when you paint your house, it cools the house down. So instead of having to use a generator or a fan, which generator creates a lot of fuel, which is not good for environment, this particular paint, which is made from natural ingredients, no risk to health at all, it's very good. You can use it to paint your house. And also there's another variety of that, which is good for colder climates as well, or colder region, which is selling in Europe already. So when you use that to paint your house, it keeps the house warm. So you won't need to use the heaters as well as much. And there's another one that if you, the solar power, we all know solar power, for example, this is another product. If you install it in your house, you can get electricity. But this particular solar power, you get 3 things. You get electricity, you get gas, and you get water. Even in the desert, the panel, they have a way of creating water. So this again will be very good for dry regions in Tanzania, especially central Tanzania, where there's a problem of, of drought. So this is fantastic. And also there's another one which is very good for against COVID-19 or against any kind of, for example, Ebola virus. If you spray it on a surface, it can last for up to 10 days. So anyone who touches that won't be infected with the virus. So that's the new one, new technology. And as you know, where the current situation, which again is very good. So there's quite a number of products. The way we come up with this product is we try to see that it will actually solve existing problems. For example, the spray against COVID-19 and other deadly viruses, it will be perfect for hospitals, health centers, schools, offices, public places. Absolutely fantastic. The painting can be used for oil tanks, for example. We know oil tanks loses millions of money from the heat, for the evaporation. So if you apply that paint, that keeps the oil cool and it won't burn into fire or evaporate. That means it's actually good for environment as well. And as you know, with Paris Agreement, this is again is fantastic initiative. It comes about caring for the environment we live in, and also to save money and also to save lives as well. So we have a number of products that are very good for the human, for the environment as well, and also saves money and as a source of income as well. Another product that we have, it's called Eco Unit. If you install it in a tank or in a car or anywhere, it saves the consumption of fuel or petrol. So again, and also it reduces for 95%. It's been proven to reduce the number of fuel that comes from that the car or anything. Again, so you really saving, protecting the environment. So air pollution, it gets reduced massively with this particular instrument. It's actually selling in America, in Spain, and it's new, and we're really trying to educate people about this so that they can see the importance of it. The project has been approved by the government of Tanzania already. We're just looking for the way of actually kickstart the project. We're looking for partners that we can still kickstart the project. And the government, if they're happy with it, who knows, they might actually even mandate it. But it's very good for the environment. It saves fuel, and it's fantastic in providing employment as well. All these products, we can actually move the manufacturing into the country. For example, in Tanzania, we can actually go there and set up the factory and teach thousands of youth how to make this product. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure the industry, to provide employment for the country. So we don't like to end up to the point of just exporting the products to Tanzania. We want to actually be there. So we can actually go there. If we get the right support, we can actually go there. The engineering team here, they are very happy to relocate, set up a factory, manufacture the product there, provide employment, and provide that skill to people. Because as you know, if you show someone how to fish, it won't help them that much. But teach them how to do it, then it can be very valuable in the long term. So it's all about sharing knowledge and the technology to people who need it the most. So our products serve just that. So yeah, so briefly, that's what I can say. Shame Santiku. I think that he was having some technical problems. That's why he got logged out. But briefly, that's what it's all about. But if you have any question, you have our chamber emails, drop us a line. And if you want to be a distributor, let's talk. We can actually do that for now. But eventually, we would like to actually move to Tanzania and set up the factory, or in other African countries as well. Because especially for the malaria one, it's very good, because as you know, malaria is deadly. It's still deadly today. So we really need to do something about it.
Fantastic.
So yeah, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So please do share any questions or swap contact details in the chat. So next up is Jehudi. So Jehudi, are you there? Can you unmute yourself? Okay, yes. So hello. And I can share your concept note. I will add it into the chats, but if you'd like to just talk us through it, that would be great.
It's okay. You just share, then I can start from there, and I can get out from the video because my internet connection is poor, so you can hear my voice, but you not mark my image. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so just share the document, then I can start from there.
Please start. I'm going to put it into the chat. Okay. Yep.
Okay, maybe first I can introduce myself and the organization I work with. My name is Mr. Juhudi Mbwambo, the director of organization known as Elim Community Light. We are based in Arusha, Tanzania. Our organization operates in the area of education, so that we have an innovation that we try to work with it at this moment to support the education in Tanzania known as Jifunze Nyumbani. For those who know Swahili, Jifunze Nyumbani means learn at home. We have established an innovation that provides the opportunity of learning to students beyond the school environment. That provides also opportunity for everyone to access lessons through audiovisual material that are developed by professional teachers and they distributed to the community, and they enable community members, including children, to access those materials through memory card or any device that can enable to take those materials from the computer or any device that supports access of those material. We are trying to reach vulnerable children who cannot access educational materials due to some challenges, including currently we have the limited learning opportunity to many children at the end of the school hours. So children, when they go home, they miss some practice work to do with. Also, we have overcrowded classrooms, that overcrowded classes that reduce student learning attention. Also, we lack insufficient student textbooks, teaching and learning resources, and the unaffordable cost for children to or parents to pay for remedial sessions that enable children to access learning opportunity after class hours. Our innovations try to support the learning environment that provide the opportunity for children with difficulty in mastering literacy and numeracy skills. Also, those can miss subjects or learning opportunity at the school due to different challenges of healthy and the MP period for girls. So we try to find the way how we can support children to learn in any time or at any place by accessing those kind of audiovisual material with them. I have shared the video link with the Janet. I think you can share with us at the bottom of my document. You will find it,
Yes,
the link of that video, so that you can share, so that people can see how the innovation look like. So what we are doing right now, we are in a test phase where we tried to share, to provide this kind of audiovisual material to children, and we find that it was very useful to children, and the people were interested to use those materials in learning at home. Also, teachers say that this material can support and improve learning outcomes to many children, especially because they provide the opportunity for them to learn at their own time, and also can get the opportunity to revise several times so that they can understand the concept of literacy and numeracy easily. Also, the government was interested to work with us and support this program, so that they provided the government teachers who were participating in producing those kind of material. Currently, we found that we cannot control the distribution of those material without having the software that can provide, that can control and track the distribution of those materials, and find how users can try to use those materials in a different area. So we are in a process of developing a software that can track those materials, how are reaching the end users, and find the way to support them easily. Recently, we have a little challenge. We have a challenge of accomplishing our work due to inadequate resources like fund for producing quality materials that are potential for make sure that everyone can access the clear materials, and with the distributions that elaborate what students need to learn from there. So we are in a little bit stuck of having resources such as fund that can support teachers to develop those materials, and also we lack some potential equipment that we need for smart pen. We want the vocal booth to control the voice. Also, we want the stationaries and some flash disks that can be used to distribute those material. Finally, I can share the way how we plan to distribute those material. By using the software we are making now, we developed the software that it allows anybody to use those material by coding and decoding, so that we make sure that material reach the end user without recorded, copied by other So we control the distribution of those material. But we enable those distributors in the community to charge a little amount of money, very little. This is like 50 shillings, Tanzania shillings. That is so little to ensure that all children access this material easily at their home base. So we use this, we call it a community video centers or library to enable community members to reach our materials so that they can access easily in a wide community. So this is how we distribute those material, and I asked Janet to share the video so that others can see the concept, how it works, and then you can have more questions if there are some questions.
Thank you. Yes, I shared the concept note and the video link. So could you just outline how many materials that you have already, like how many hours of content, and is there somewhere where people can download this and see what's available?
Now we have just developed the materials for grade 1 and grade 2 for 3 subjects, for reading, writing, and the mathematics works. Our model is not allowing to access those material online because we use the software that controlling the distribution of those materials so that we can track the behavior of users. So it's locally used to the community because we are in the test phase where we cannot distribute in a wide community, so that we can learn its impact and also to find the way how we can share with the government and see how we can expand the project to a wide Tanzania. So for those who can access those material are those who can use our software, and we target it to use people who distribute video in the community to have this software to their computers and distribute those material to the community. So we don't have this program online recently.
Okay, so if I understand, people have to have a computer and this software in order to be able to use it. Is that correct?
Yes, for those who are distributing in the community. But those who are taking, like end users, they can use their flash disk to copy those lessons and they use at home.
But they still need a computer.
They can use the TV.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
have you considered doing anything just using phones? I mean, we've done quite a lot of work with downloading things and putting them on memory cards so that people can access them just on a phone. Have you thought of that?
Yes, we thought that they can use memory card to copy those materials and they use them to their smartphones.
So that's possible.
Yes, for this time we are not allowing to share all materials online because we still find we cannot protect those materials if there is any challenge to the government, like or to change some content, so that we want to make sure that
okay, you're going very quiet.
Hello.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so there's a question from Aseri. How can he get access to your learning material in Bukoba?
In Bukoba, they just have he need to have the software through. We can send the software and then we can use bus or EMS to reach them at Bukoba.
Right, okay, thank you. If there's any other questions, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Agape, who's going to talk about fruit trees in Kagera, I think.
Hi.
Hi.
Greetings, everybody. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Agape, as Jen had said, and I work with. We have a project in Kagera, especially in Gisenyi district, that deals with farming, whereby we saw that many people complain that they plant the trees, but it takes time to harvest. So what the thing that we did is that to find a way to help them by using trees that produce fruits like mangoes and avocado. So the way that we help them is by uh, taking those natural trees, fruits like mangoes that take like 5 to 10 years. We join them, or we like grafting them. We graft them with those trees which are that take few years, like 1.5 years to produce to have a harvest. So the way that we normally do them, we normally do is by gathering in the communities, especially in Bugorola area. That's where we do our practice. We bring them to the farms where we do grafting and help them to learn um, and teach them on how to do grafting and other aspects that related to farming. But the main challenges that we face at the moment is the type of the seed that we get. We are not able to get those seeds, those seedlings at the proper time, because we find those seeds in far away from Bukoba, whereby we can get them from Morogoro or in Jombe. So that's the main challenge that we face. Sorry? Hello?
Yeah, continue. So what seeds are you particularly looking for?
Okay, the seeds that we are particularly looking for are those mango seeds. Those are the ones which we do normally transport them from Njombe to Bukoba or to Kagera area in this place. So it's hard for us to get those seeds in good shape, because it takes like 2 days to reach in Bukoba. So when reaching here, you can find them, they have already not in good order. So it's a little bit challenging. And another thing is that we do bring them is about the avocado. That's another plant that we do help those farmers to educate them and to help them on how to do grafting and have a good plant that can take less than 2 years to get the harvest, because they are, as I said, that they normally used to do planting the trees, which take 10 to 15 years to be harvested. So through this way, or through this knowledge that we share with the farmers, they see that it's a good idea to have these fruits that can take a few years to bring production, rather than doing planting trees which take long.
Okay,
So,
thank you. It seems to be quite noisy where you are. So if I've understood this correctly, you want to graft different trees so that they grow more quickly, so that farmers can get fruit more quickly. Is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Aseri is asking, how much does it cost to transport 1,000 avocado seedlings from Morogoro to Bukoba? Because he could potentially help with this. maybe you two can talk directly offline, because I think many people would be interested in this. I don't know, do you two know each other? Because you're working quite closely. Do you know?
Yes, sure. I do normally talk to Aseri, especially on the farm at Kiziru. So I've already planned to visit his farm at Kiziru.
Great. All right. Thank you. I think many people will be interested in something that can get fruit to people more quickly. So thank you. If anybody has any questions or wants to know more from Agape, please put them in the chat. And also, Agape, maybe you can write your contact details there. So I see that Ochek has just joined, who's been working with entrepreneurs in Dar es Salaam. Ochek, would you like to say something about your work? And if there is anybody else who wants to speak, please let me know in the chat. Okay, Ochek.
Yes, I'm good. I'm happy to be joining you guys, even though I have joined late. I had some electricity complication in my area. So what we actually do at Bridge for Change, I work with the organization called the Bridge for Change that focus on youth empowerment. And one of the things that we champion is innovation. Starting triggering or helping young people in being able to come out with ideas and innovating around it, and teaching some entrepreneurial skills, but also some of mentorship program. And one of the things that we do is actually for a young person who have a fresh idea that has not started working on an area, he can approach us and we can teach them human-centered design and then help them in the process of research, to conduct research for the idea, and then go towards idea generation. We use some different approaches, including that human-centered design. And the other part that we do ourselves as an entrepreneurship, we are using we work as an NGO with the youth. So we use the insight that we get in consulting to other organizations like Vodacom Tanzania Foundation or UNICEF in their work on how they can best engage young people and how do they allow young people to bring the innovation into their project that are kind of more independent than the ones that they are just designed by the project expertise or by the organization themselves. And the other part which we are doing, so we have built different courses that we are selling as well. We sell courses to organizations or to schools or to individual young people. And one of our model that we are using to sell courses to young people, we have our approach called Kijana Cafe, where instead of, we did our research on how young people are interested in investing for their personal growth and the skills development. And we realized parents and young people themselves is not much of the agents for that area. And the parents, they don't really like investing to young people who are already around 15 to 20 something here. They're more interested to invest to more younger ones. But the young people who are in the age of 15 above, up to 20, they are really confused and they really skills development at that stage, but less investment is done. So one of the innovation that we have done there is by building Kijana Cafe, where young people, when they visit our space, instead of paying for their training, they are supposed to buy something from our center. It can be a cafe, something to refresh themselves. So we put product that we think are interesting for them, or that entertains young people, or they are more attracted, they are more willingly to spend it too. And those products are like food area is more area that we have seen them spending much. Sometimes books, but not much. They don't much spend in books. T-shirts. So if young person buys a T-shirt, depends on the wealth, he have an open session to different themes or thematic themes that we have advertised for that particular month or for that particular week. And in the same model, if we want to pay money direct, they pays around 35 USD, and that allows them to have a 3-month training continuously, because basically how we are making the revenue around is not by them paying, rather is by selling the merchandise. But for those who want to pay, then we have also put a certain percent that they can actually contribute. And we are using the same model for the same product we are selling to NGOs. When we have trained a few NGOs who they want to do skills assessment and understand the gaps, and then have more personal learning centered approach instead of the traditional one. The other part of our training model is we don't train young people on what we think is the best. We help them. One part of our model is skills assessment, and then the other part is training, and the other part is testing. So after aspiration, after knowing what young person interest is, we will go ahead and understand what do they miss, what do they feel they miss, and do the assessment, and then they will select what they want to learn. Instead of just saying we're training computer, it's like, okay, what do you want? Who do you want to become? And do you have the potential of becoming and the skills needed? And then what do you want to equip? What do you want to add? What the gaps are missing in you? So basically that's what we are doing here at Bridge for Change.
Thank you very much, Ochek. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. So can I ask, what have been your most successful entrepreneurs, and do you do any training online for people in places like rural Kigoma, Kagera, etc.?
Okay, so I think that is one of the things that we are doing at the moment. So we are putting this online courses online. We have got a support from organization from UK called the Black Row, which are allowing us to use their platform to put the courses online so that they can reach more young people. And one of our most successful cases from individuals, we have young people who graduated from 4 and they had, let's say, they have failed, they don't have good result, and they are wondering what to do. And some of them, we have someone called Francis, who is doing very well in photography at the moment, but he started in our program as just a volunteer, going with him with schools, but then doing analysis, helping him do the assessment of what he needs really to train. And then we have an organization called Afropreneur. They are actually helping women specifically sell product online. And they just did their first event last week called they had a one street selling stuff where they gathered different entrepreneurs to sell their product in that area in the open, like they called on the way as a street selling, but they did their model different, and they're focusing more on women and being able to bring some high profile people to visit those women businesses. So those are kind of two, one being a business actually, and the one being more of individual initiative that have helped young people come out from their challenges.
Thank you. It would be great if you can put the links into the chat.
Sure.
There's another question from Nimali. Do you partner with the business startups?
Yes. So at our space, at our office, we have actually more than 6-7 initiatives. So not necessarily business. For us, we look into any idea that a young person have. So what we do, if they are primarily just starting, we will provide them with a space. We will help them in strategical thinking. We will help them if they want to conduct research. But also the other thing, because we have quite a number of youth who are coming together, so we are able to help them connect and learn from each other. So we do partnership with the startup businesses. Depending on the idea, if their business is bringing social change, like they are focused on creating social change, becomes more easier for us. Our experience is most of young people really want to make social change compared to traditional, like less traditional businesses are coming out from young people.
Fantastic. And what are the biggest challenges that they have?
But I think the biggest challenge they have is there are big challenge on level of skills, like level of productivity, and learning skills is quite challenging. So one of the courses we have built at the moment is teaching the young people learning skills, because we thought they are quite struggling on that part. And the other part is young people who are very determined and they lack like family support or community support towards their ideas. People want them to get quite quick employed, and some young people are like, I think I want to build something, I want to solve some challenges, but people seems to not get that quite easily. There are some legal challenges, like you open up a business and the TRA, the first thing they do to you is to give you estimation of your tax to pay. And that also for young people who are going direct to opening business, that has been one of the biggest challenge or drawbacks for them. But also they lack exposure. Like they have yesterday we had a meeting with a group from Simbawanga, which is quite the rural area. And their challenge is they are 55 young people. They have already got loan from the bank, about 20 million, but their struggle is they have less exposure now. They are thinking, where are we selling this product? How are we connecting to the outside world from Simbawanga? So it means more networking are needed to make sure they are connecting quite well.
So was that an online meeting that you had with them?
We had an online meeting, but we had their leader also coming to Dar es Salaam. We started with online, and then we had their leader visiting us in Dar es Salaam, because after the online meeting, there are some action that they had to take physically in Dar es Salaam. Because that is the other challenge, that a lot of business operation and organization are centered in Dar es Salaam. So if young people have an idea who are from rural, for them to succeed, sometimes they need a cost to travel to Dar es Salaam, so that to have meeting with the stakeholders and the staff. So for instance, they wanted to have meeting with Simbawanga Development Community, and their leader of Simbawanga Development Community is living in Dar es Salaam. So they had to travel to come to Dar es Salaam, which is interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So another question, are you working all over Tanzania, and how can groups in rural areas like Kagera, Kigoma, how can they get in touch with you, and what can you offer them?
Okay, so our registration allows us to work all over the Tanzania, except the Zanzibar, but we don't have the resource to work all over the country. We have been more presence in Mbeya, Shinyanga at some point, Mwanza, Iringa, Tanga, Pwani, and Morogoro, and Dar es Salaam. But we are open to any organization or any individual who is outside Dar es Salaam by leveraging the online platform. We can help you if you are doing training, even if we are not the one training, we can help that organization. We can build a proper partnership and help the organization around building the content and the developing process of transforming, like more innovative and more collaborative towards young people. Because one of our key beliefs is we are trying to help organizations see young people not as a beneficiary rather than primary partners, because they are the ones who are gonna use most of the product we are innovating anyway. So we can actually work with the organization despite the distance. If we have the resource, we are so much very happy going to different locations depending on how our partners are calling upon to. But also, even mobilizing the resource together, we are very open working with the youth groups in mobilizing. For instance, the Simbawanga group, we started working with them before they had the access. So we worked with them on ideas, how they should go about. They got their registration from the Ministry of Agriculture, because they registered themselves as a agriculture community association. Yeah, so that's how we work.
Okay, so as you know, I think Tanzania Development Trust is working with very many small youth groups, many of whom really need help with business planning. Is that something that you can help with?
Very true. That is one thing that we actually are doing, and we have the modules around how we are doing that. Our approach is more facilitating, like sitting with them, getting the best idea out of them, helping them to understand their potential, do the SWOT analysis of their environment and the opportunity, and how they're gonna get the best out of the environment, then come out with a strategy on how they're gonna go about, but also in writing the actual business proposals. Like the Simbawanga one, it means we had to help them have the actual business proposal to sell to the bank, for the bank to be able to buy. But also even helping these groups on the strategy. Some youth might think they want to register NGO or a company, but in some setting, they just need to register as a youth groups in a local level, and they have access to different opportunities from the government, but also from other development stakeholders.
Extremely interesting. So if there are groups here or people know of groups, what's the best first step to get to work with you?
Yes. So the first thing is I can share with you, Janet, a Google form If the youth group have access to that Google form, they can feel so for us to kick off and start the conversation with them. And so we are available online if they reach us, even individuals, if we send us a message in either WhatsApp group or in our social media networks, we are still able to connect with them and move forward, do something. For the way things have changed, we don't think that it requires us to be physical all the time to make things happen. We think there's a room always of taking an advantage of the technology and the working out, even when you're distant, and then meeting when it's very, really necessary to.
Absolutely, as we are today now.
Yes, yes, very true.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm aware that we're nearly running out of time, so if anyone else has any questions or any final comments, would like to say anything, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll check it. If you want to share your details in the chat, that would be great.
I will.
Thank you. And if there's anyone here who hasn't spoken yet, who wants to speak very briefly, then please do. Otherwise, if nobody else wants to speak, thank you very much. Oh, Rachel, yes, please do speak. Rachel?
Oh, no, sorry, I was just giving a clap. I think that was great to hear everybody's contributions. So thanks to all.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Why don't you say something a bit about the honey people in Mwanza?
Sure, yeah. No, I've been working in Mwanza, working with women who have albinism, a group of women who have albinism, connecting them with local beekeepers in the Mwanza area. And they've opened a honey processing center and shop, so where they can purchase honey from the local beekeepers that's been harvested, and then they process that, jar that, sell that. And then also they purchase the beeswax, which they can then make into value-added products, so making candles, balms, lip balms, bees wraps, and a variety of other products that then they can sell in the shop locally. And again, I think it's been good to see just through using WhatsApp, Facebook, different other social media channels, being able to get their products known outside of Mwanza, and then so getting into tourist locations in Dar, Zanzibar, Serengeti lodges, and increasing the markets that way. So yeah, no, in a nutshell, that's what we've been involved in.
And you've also even sold some of those products in the UK, haven't you?
We have, yeah. And I think, I mean, that's a good conversation that I'd like to have with even more with some of you here in how that can work more easily, the exporting and working through all the hoops and hurdles to do that. And then also even just selling locally. I know you just mentioned with the business challenges with TRA, that kind of thing, helping people to work through those challenges, I think is something that's really needed and would be really helpful for people that are trying to start in new businesses. It can be very complicated and very difficult.
Yes, absolutely. So someone, Mawa, has just asked whether you can share the link to the honey project.
Sure, yeah, I'll put that on the chat.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's presented and joined, and I think this has been, hopefully we've made some very useful connections so that we can continue going forwards. So if anyone has anything that they want to share with the whole group, then please email me, and I will share the slides and the videos that I have and the recording with everyone who registered. So thank you very much.